Hello everyone, this is Colleen Lama, Starseed Astrologer and Spiritual Messenger with SacredSoulEmpowerment.com, here to do your weekly angel card reading for Monday, May 4th through Sunday, May 10th, 2015. I want to take a moment to mention that I've also recently done the monthly angel card reading for May 2015. You'll want to make sure to go onto my YouTube channel and check that out. I not only talk about the highlights astrologically of the month of May, but also we look at the numerological vibration for the month of May, as well as doing a reading with the Angel Tarot card deck, as well as a special message deck. So again, make sure to check out the monthly angel card reading. I also have the new monthly angelic astrology article done and posted on angelmessenger.net. This will go more in depth and in detail in a written fashion about the numerology, the astrology, and the energetic happenings for the month of May. So also make sure to go onto angelmessenger.net and read that article. So as far as our weekly astrology for this week, we start out on Monday the 4th of May, right on the heels of the full moon in Scorpio. Now the full moon in Scorpio happened close to midnight on Sunday the 3rd, and that was Eastern Daylight Time. So we're right on the heels of that intense, transformative, death and rebirth, subconscious kind of energy. Now, we have the Sun in Taurus on Monday and a challenging square aspect to Jupiter in Leo. And the Sun is about our identity, our sense of self. And, you know, with it being in Taurus, it really brings up how we value ourselves and our sense of self-worth. And with Jupiter in the mix, it's about expanding our perceptions of that, expanding our perception of our sense of self-worth and who we are. However, I feel like we're going through some challenges with that we might be dealing with some low self-worth issues, or, how we value experiences in our life. And we might even be dealing with some money or financial challenges with that Taurus energy, and Jupiter likes to expand things and make things bigger. And since this is a square aspect or a challenging aspect, it might be something that's a little bit difficult. We're needing to, we're needing to kind of look at things in a different way. As we move into Wednesday, the 6th of May, we now have the Sun in a positive configuration with Pluto. Pluto's about power, and it's about change and transformation, and this happens really early on Wednesday the 6th. So I feel like, again, this is all Eastern Daylight Time, but I feel like some of us are going to experience this later on Tuesday going into Wednesday. So I feel like this is going to empower us. I feel like after the full moon energy of the last weekend, after the Sun squares Jupiter on Monday, that we start to come into the sense of empowering ourselves and stepping into and owning our power and valuing ourselves more. Also on that day, Wednesday, we have the moon in Sagittarius, which is optimistic and looking at things from a brighter perspective, and it's about our truth, standing in our truth, or owning our truth, or finding out what our truth is. And the moon in Sag is going to be making positive connections with Jupiter and then Uranus, which is, again, expanding our sense of creative self-expression, expanding our optimism, changing our viewpoint of ourselves and our sense of independence and who we are. As we move forward into Thursday, the 7th, we have the planet Venus coming out of Gemini and now moving into the sign of Cancer for the next little while. Venus is about the divine feminine energy, about love and relationships. And Cancer is about nurturing, mothering, caretaking, loving. And I feel like that combination is going to be really good. We're going to feel a lot more connected in our own heart chakras. We're going to be feeling a lot more connected in our heart chakras as far as towards other people. We'll have more of that empathic connection with others, and we might feel a little more sensitive too, but that's not, I don't look at that as a negative thing, but it brings us more into a place of nurturing and loving. On Friday the 8th, we have the moon in Capricorn. It comes up to meet with Pluto in Capricorn, and then it squares or creates a challenging aspect to Uranus and Aries. Now, that's the Pluto-Uranus square we're talking about, which has been hugely about transformation and change in all of our lives for quite some time now. And even though Pluto and Uranus are pulling apart, they're still, affecting humanity and affecting the earth and affecting us as individuals as far as that death and rebirth and transformation and change energy. With the moon setting that off in Capricorn, Capricorn's about our goals, our ambitions, what we're working towards, our sense of responsibility towards ourselves, others, and our life. And bringing things more into manifestation and into form. Now, it is the moon, so I feel like we're still going through emotional transformation here, but I feel like that emotional transformation is also taking into account our life path, career path, goals, and where we're moving as far as the direction we're moving in. Then as we close out the week on Saturday the 9th, we have Mercury, the messenger planet, a planet of our thoughts and our ideas and our belief systems. It's newly in Gemini, and it's starting to slow down in Gemini because it's going to go into its retrograde cycle here in another week and a half or so, very soon. So as it's slowing down, that's already creating some challenges with the way we think about things, or even with how we communicate with one another, or the messages that we're receiving, information that we're receiving. But now it's in a challenging aspect to the planet Neptune. And Neptune often deals with things that are outside of our third dimensional reality, and it deals with illusion and confusion sometimes and fantasy. So Mercury squaring Neptune is going to bring some mixed messages. We're going to be confused in our own thoughts. We might have confusing communication with other people. It's nothing that can't be worked out. So I would, make sure that you're clarifying what it is you're saying to other people, and clarify what other people are saying to you when you're communicating. This aspect is really good for like creative writing and for imagination and for meditation. So use it in that manner, because that's going to be the most positive output of that energy. Now, as far as our stones of choice for the week, first of all, let's mention that we're going to be using Doreen Virtue's Angel Tarot cards for the weekly reading. Your special message card is going to be coming from Linda Goodman's Star Cards. That is compiled and written by Crystal Bush. You can see that there's already cards out on the table, and that is because we are re-recording the video. It didn't take the first time. We're already experiencing some of that Mercury retrograde, or pre-Mercury retrograde, as Mercury's slowing down, starting to already deal with some computer things and technological things that are happening and not unfolding correctly. So we've already got our cards out from choosing them the first time around. And let's go ahead and look at the stones of choice so that you can figure out what your special message is going to be. This is going to be spectralite, and spectralite is a dark, well, in this case it's a dark black stone. It's got little sparkles of light in it. And the symbology of the stone, and I speak of symbology rather than the defined indication of what this crystal or stone means, because my angels and guides guided me for this week to talk about the symbolic meaning of the stone for you. This to me is like being in the void. The darkness or the blackness in the background is like being in the void, and the sparkles of light are having all these opportunities, opportunities of hope and clarity that are around you. And it's just that you have to reach out to those opportunities, reach out for the stars of light to kind of illuminate your path, or illuminate what's not clear around you. So for your second stone of choice, it's going to be volcanic glass. This volcanic glass, actually it was the magma from a volcano that got spewed out and then hardened into a rock, which it always hardens as a black stone. And you can tell that this is volcanic glass because of the little inclusions or indentations of energy as the magma kind of hardened. It hardened or crystallized with these little kind of indentations or inclusions in it. But think about the symbology of volcanic glass. It came from a volcano, so I feel like this is about transformation, regeneration. It's about transmuting energies because when this came out of the volcano, it was red hot, obviously, you know, and orange in color as the magma often is. And then when it cools down, it hardens, it turns into something different. You know, so in effect, it does transmute into a different type of energy, which is this hard stone, this hard black stone. So that's what the symbology of this stone is about. The last stone of choice is, all of a sudden, I forget the name, hematite, okay? And I put it way back here. I don't want to bring it too close to the camera because hematite is very magnetic, as well as reflective. But the magnetic aspect of it, and you can see here, this is actually several hematite stones that are put together, and you can see how strongly magnetic they are with one another. I don't want to put it close to the computer because that might have been part of what the issue was with trying to record the video the first time around. But from a symbolic standpoint, first of all, we have the reflective nature of the hematite. It's a dark gray stone. And if you look at hematite, it reflects light, or it even sometimes you can even see your own reflection in it like a mirror. But because of also that magnetic quality, it attracts, you know, it attracts things to you or magnetizes energies to you. So this is how you can look at the definition or energies of this particular stone. So again, we have, it just kind of connected to this because it's so magnetic again. Sorry about that. So your stones of choice are, okay, sorry about that. We're just going to let it be right next to that. The stones of choice are spectrolite, volcanic glass, and then the hematite that's now kind of put itself, connected itself, magnetized itself to the card holder here. And let's take a look at what the first card of the week is, okay? So your first card, as far as the message for this week, is the Ace of Air. And the Ace of Air says, brilliant new ideas and inspirations, seeing the truth of a situation, a challenging beginning. So here we have the air quality, which is the mental realm, our thoughts, our ideas, our beliefs. The Ace is a new beginning, a new way of seeing something, a new way of believing something. And sometimes when we come into a new decision or new way of thinking or believing about something, it can be quite challenging because we're used to the old way. We're used to the old way of thinking or the old way of doing something. But here we have the symbology of the Pegasus with the wings outspread. You know, spreading the wings to look at things from a broader perspective, a different vantage point, expanding our belief systems to include a different way, and getting ready to fly, you know, is what this Pegasus is doing. So we're getting ready to embark on a new direction. And this is a new direction of the mental realm first, before it becomes on the physical realm. We're adopting a new way of thinking or believing as the first step to create a change in our lives. But let's go ahead and look at the second card to get more information about that. So the second card is the Two of Earth. And the Two of Earth says, too much going on at once, the need to make a decision, consider a more playful approach. Okay, so now we have an Earth card. So we're talking about things on a manifested Earth realm, you know, our plans, our objectives, career, money, you know, finances, relationships are even thing on a manifested level, you know, the operations of the relationships, the operation of our work in our lives. The two is about, it can be about either balance or imbalance, okay? And just as this card says, there's too much going on at once. So we're off in too many directions at once. We're trying to balance too many things at once. We're not sure which way is up. We're not sure which direction we're going. And that's where that Ace of Air comes in. You know, it's time to kind of make a decision, to have more clarity, to figure out, do I want to go in this direction or that direction? Do I want to go up or do I want to go down? So that I can have more balance in my life. So I really feel like between the first card and the second card, we're talking about, again, starting to adopt a new way of thinking and believing so we can make a new decision for a new beginning that starts to bring things back into a balance, because right now things are unbalanced or things are a little chaotic and there's too many energies going on at the same time that's causing confusion. Let's look at the last card, or the second to the last card for the week. Now we have a Major Arcana card. This is Major Arcana number 9, the Hermit, Archangel Raziel. And it says, spend time in quiet meditation, spiritual teaching, and self-discovery. So this is about finding clarity. You know, this is about quieting the mind, going within, pulling back your energies, doing some meditation, contemplation, looking for the light within yourself, looking for the truth within yourself. Not listening to outside circumstances or messages or energies. In other words, not looking for validation outside of yourself, not looking for the answers outside of yourself, because the answers are within you. Your truth is within you. And in order to really hear clearly or see clearly that truth so you can make the best decision possible, you have to quiet the mind. You have to go within and do some prayer, meditation. Go out in nature by yourself. The hermit often will go out into meditation or go into a cave. I'm not suggesting you have to go into a cave, but you know, in old times, that's what the seeker would do. They would go out by themselves and go contemplate for a while out in nature somewhere to find clarity, to find the truth within themselves. And that's really what this week is talking about. In order to gain the greatest clarity on the mental level, to make the best decision possible in your life with whatever's going on in your life, and this could be, again, career, work, finances, relationship, that you have to go within and seek this light. Seek the wisdom. This is about wisdom, inner wisdom. Seek the inner wisdom within yourself. Listen to your higher soul self, because your higher soul self has the answers and has your truth. Let's look at this extra card that kind of came out when I was shuffling earlier, kind of poked out as a fourth card. Okay, now we have another Major Arcana number 13. This is the Release card with Archangel Azrael. It says, the end of a phase or situation, spiritual transformation, and time to move on. So in the traditional tarot, Major Arcana number 13 is the Death card, meaning symbolic, you know, death and rebirth, transformation on an inner level. This is interesting to me because in the monthly angel card reading, the numerological vibration of the month of May is a 13, which is a karmic number. So we strongly have this 13 coming up over and over again as a symbol of you going through an inner death and rebirth. Okay, your spirit, your soul is kind of purging out and releasing energies, situations, circumstances that are no longer in your highest and best interest, so that you can rebirth yourself and again come into this new beginning and a new way of seeing things. In order to do that, you have to clear out the old. And just like it says that it's the end of a situation or an energy in your life, and it's time to move on. So whether this be, again, some outside circumstance, perhaps a relationship, perhaps something with a job that's coming to an end, or this can just be the end of, again, your old ideas, thoughts, and belief systems within yourself that are no longer in your highest and best interest to hold on to, because now it's time to adopt a new way of thinking and believing so that you can create a new way of living in your life. So I feel like this is a very fitting reading for this week. Let's look at your special message card depending on your stone of choice. So for those of you that chose the Spectralite, your card or your message for this week is Mercury. This is number 5, Mercury. And again, Mercury is the messenger planet, so there may be messages coming in this week. However, this can also mean that there's some chaos this week, because the number 5, which often does deal with Mercury, can be a little ungrounded and a little bit chaotic because it's a little too logical sometimes. The planet Mercury is the planet that rules the mind, the lower mind sometimes, which is the ego mind. So the ego mind sometimes gets caught in fears and doubts and anxieties, and the number 5 is also about that kind of energy. So I feel like, again, there's needing to be clarity. You're needing to find some clarity in order to make an appropriate decision, a logical decision that may have to be made, or have some clarity about something. And with Mercury here, he's wearing green. He's wearing a green kind of clothing. And I feel like that, again, goes back to nature. I'm feeling that if you ground out in nature, out in the green grass of nature, standing barefoot on the earth, hugging a tree, going for a walk in nature by yourself on a nature path. Nature is very grounding, and it can help to bring clarity to the mind. It can help to disperse kind of some of that chaotic and ungrounded energies so that you can see clearly and communicate clearly what you may need to. So for those of you that chose the volcanic glass, your special message for this week is, this is number 28, and it says, Trusting Lamb. And I don't know if you can see the picture of this very clearly, but this is a little lamb, a trusting lamb, standing on, I don't know if it's actually a mountaintop, but it's definitely a high rock, a precipice here, standing on the edge of like a cliff, and sort of looking down like, wow, can I make that? Do I trust that I can drop down and stand, and land on my 2 feet okay? I like the symbology of the sun rising over here. The sun rising is sort of like the illumination of spirit. Spirit, your angels and guides are illuminating the way. The angels are illuminating your path, letting you know that you can trust. Just like it says, trusting lamb. The lamb has to trust that if it jumps off the cliff into the abyss, not knowing how far down it's going to go, not knowing if it's going to land on its own 2 feet, not knowing if it's going to be okay when it reaches the bottom, the lamb has to trust that it will be, that the light of spirit here is going to illuminate and protect this lamb's journey as it takes that leap of faith for this week. And then for the people that chose the hematite, that we were having so much interesting magnetism with here, the hematite people, the message is card number 12, and it says, Sacrifice-victim. And I know that sounds like a very heavy, negative kind of card, but what I feel this is about is that, if you think of the word sacrifice, a lot of you might have been sacrificing your own happiness, your own feeling of fulfillment for other people, whether it be family or friends or significant others. Maybe you're sacrificing a piece of you for other people. And in a sense, that means you're becoming a victim. You're allowing yourself to become a victim of circumstance, or a victim to other people's energies, or you're just victimizing yourself, not treating yourself with that sense of self-worth and deservedness that you do deserve. Because again, there's the sacrifice, and it's okay to want to do things for others, or make a decision that's in everyone's best interest. So your angels aren't suggesting to forget everybody else, but what's been happening is perhaps you've been forgetting about yourself. You've been forgetting about an aspect of your happiness, your joy, your fulfillment, your contentment. And the angels don't want you to sacrifice that anymore. It's time to expand. If I look at the number 12, and 1 plus 2 is 3, that number 3 is about expansion. So it's time to expand yourself into the belief system that you are worthy and that you are deserving, and that you shouldn't have to sacrifice your happiness for other people's happiness, or for the happiness of a group, or what have you. So learn to step into a sense of allowing yourself to have whatever joy, abundance, prosperity, happiness, balance, peace that you really do deserve. So I hope you've liked this weekly angel card reading. Taking a moment, I want to thank everyone for your positive comments on YouTube, on Facebook. Thank you for all of those that have signed up for readings through my website, sacredsoulempowerment.com. Thank you for those of you that have sent donations through my website to help support me in making these videos and writing the articles and doing the Facebook posts that I do for you. I appreciate all of the energy of love and gratitude that you send me. So for those of you that have done that, thank you very much. That really helps to fuel what I'm doing. And I do have such a passion for what I'm doing, and I love what I do, and I love what I give to all of you. So I send you all much love and light, much peace, and many, many angel blessings. Until next week.